Hello, my lovely, luscious Libras. Welcome, welcome. It is Sachi the Scorpio, and I am here to deliver your guided healing tarot for the month of June. Please like, comment, and subscribe. The more energy that you send to me, the more energy that I can send to you. And just a friendly reminder that the top 3 videos that get the most likes will get a certain percentage off the extended, and they also get a twin flame bonus. So if you resonate with this, please do click that like button. Okay, this is what came out in the cleansing ceremony, Libra. We had your commitment is being tested. So it looks like you're undergoing some sort of trial where you are being tested for your commitment on some certain journey. We have Porygon using sharpen that came out. So whenever it's a normal type, that means it has to do with communication. So I feel like you're sharpening your communication skills. Porygon is like an internet Pokemon for me. It like moves through cyberspace and stuff. So I feel like you're becoming sharper with like the content that you take in. You are being more careful with your words that you put out like in public and things of that nature. And then we had Pidgey use peck. So Pidgey as a bird Pokemon, that can, I mean, because it's normal, it's more communication. But with bird Pokemon using peck, you know, it's like a little bit aggressive in a way. It's not like a terrible aggressive, it's more annoying aggressive. And I feel like that's kind of the energy of communication around you a little bit. It could be somebody else in your sphere that's kind of making you this way, where it's just like, or, you know, other people are like little birds in your ear that are just kind of like pecking at you, especially because we have bird spirit over here again. But it does look like you're sharpening your communication skills overall. We had the moon pop out for the light. So, you know, the moon is all about the subconscious, the unseen realms, right? It's Piscean energy, even though the moon, you know, rules Cancer. But very... Excuse me. Anytime I sneeze, it means that something really wants to come out. So it looks like all of these deep, deep emotions have been wanting to come out for quite some time, and you're finally getting in touch with your emotional body, getting in touch with the 5D aspect of who you are. The moon is about, you know, trusting our intuition and, you know, going into, you know, the hidden depths of who we are. It can mean secrets and things like that. I don't feel like it's like this. It's possible that you have found out some secrets, but I feel like it's more you getting in tune with your emotional body. I'm recording this on the 29th of May, and we just had that full moon. It was a blood moon and a flower moon, full moon, total lunar eclipse, and it peaked in 5 degrees Sagittarius. So check where that is in your chart to see how it, you know, was influencing you. Definitely a lot of pretty crazy energy going on. And then we have the new moon eclipse just happening in less than 2 weeks, right? So we're in eclipse season, very highly potent energy. And it looks like this was bringing up a lot of subconscious energy. The moon can be fears and stuff, but I'm not really getting that for you. This feels like, it feels like you've taken a bath that you've put off for so long, sort of thing. And the bath is within your own psyche. Okay. And then we had the 3 of water come out. So the 3 of, this is coming out in the shadow. The 3 of water, you know, I saw the 3 of water in reverse in this pop out, but it didn't want to come out. So it's possible that you got out of a third party situation, but this is you like celebrating, right? The 3 of water traditionally is 3 people who are celebrating together, right? It's a celebration, it's joy, it's merriment. It usually means 3 people working together, you know, and you know, in emotional joy and celebration and things like that. But in this deck, she's alone. And I feel like that's you. You're in this, you know, energy of abundance and joy and happiness and things, but you're alone. But who's there? It's the little birds. So I feel like there's still little birds kind of pecking at you, which is a little bit annoying, but you're still doing pretty good. And then we had the 9 of water come out, okay? So more water, rocking everywhere, Libra. The 9 of water indicates that you are closing an emotional cycle within yourself, and this is about emotional balance. So it seems like you're in an abundance vibration and getting emotionally balanced. This is beautiful. This is like Ganesh spirit. This is a lot of wisdom, emotional wisdom. This is emotional fortune. and emotional symmetry most of all. So it feels like you have your masculine and feminine energies balanced when it comes to your emotionality. So I'm so proud of you. This is a great way to start off, Libra. Happy Gemini season. I'm going to be using my twin decks for the light and the shadow, and then we'll use this as the general energy because, you know, Gemini season is the twins. But you know, Gemini rules the mind and thought processes, and, you know, is known for being able to just chit chat. So that's kind of what I'm going to do this season. For Gemini season, I'm just going to do, you know, what's been on your mind, you know, where are you, what you've been thinking about, and then we'll see how we can progress your healing journey and then get some advice on how to manifest your highest vibrational timeline. And of course, the highest vibrational timeline is very important to get to during the eclipse season because there's so much potent energy and the eclipse portals, you know, open a lot. All right, so let's see here. What is going on with our lovely Libras? Prosperity lies ahead. New moon in Taurus. Awesome, Libra. This is great. So it looks like you have prosperity lying ahead of you. So it does look like you still have, you know, some way to go a little bit, but prosperity lies ahead, and it feels like you know that. I'm going to get one more here. Ooh, expect powerful change. New moon eclipse. Yeah, so the new moon eclipse is coming up, right? That's the new moon eclipse is the one I was just talking about. It's going to be a new moon total solar eclipse in Gemini, right? And we also have the Mercury retrograde in Gemini. We also have North Node in Gemini. Lots going on in Gemini. Venus is there right now too. So anyway, prosperity lies ahead, and you can expect powerful change. And I feel like this eclipse season is also, you know, ushering in that super powerful change for you. Great start, Libra. All right, let's see what's going on. Let's see what this prosperity is. We have Rapidash using rear kick. I feel like you kind of, it's like you have to giddy up is what I'm hearing. Like you have to keep going. You have to keep going. You have to keep galloping. With rear kick, it does, whenever this comes out, I always get that something from the past is kind of kicking you in the ass. Pardon my language, but for this, it feels like your past self is sort of nudging you along. As you can see, look at Rapidash, that's like, you know, like putting its head forward. I will also say Rapidash for me is like Sagittarius energy. It's also unicorn energy because you can't really see in this picture, but it has a horn on its third eye. So some of you might be working with the unicorns, but again, this is Sagittarian energy, which is very steadfast. Like some of you might be moving or changing like a perception of something. But again, I really feel like it's your past self that's coming through this portal that's really kicking you in the butt to keep going. Like, hey, prosperity lies ahead. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Not usually the type of energy that I get with this card, but very fresh, like different type of vibe that I'm getting here. It says, it gallops at nearly 150 miles an hour. With its mane blazing ferociously, it races as if it were an arrow. Yeah, exactly. That's like that energy that I was getting, right? The going 150 miles an hour, I feel like this is your past self coming in as like, hey, you know, and it's like your future self too. Like your future self is getting your past self to be like, hey, let's go, you know, like pushing you forward because this prosperity lies ahead and wants you to just keep moving at a faster pace, right? 150 miles an hour, that's pretty fast. You know, I mean, it is Gemini season. It is kind of like chaotic whirlwind time. But yeah, and it talks about, you know, as if it were an arrow, and that is Sagittarian energy. So you might be dealing with the Sagittarius. But it feels very precise, right? When you have an arrow, there's some sort of target. And whatever your target is, you're going to get it. You're going to get it. I feel like there's one more here. Trainer choice band. Okay, so you're going to get what you want and somebody else has no choice in the matter. Okay, so trainers always mean it's somebody else. And with choice band, it means that they have no choice. So it looks like you're going to get whatever you want. Prosperity lies ahead. And whoever this person's energy is, they can't do anything about it. All right, let's see what is the light energy here. Okay, it kind of wants to hide. We have the Eight of Swords. Okay, you're exhausted. You're exhausted. I feel that. I do. I mean, whew, yeah. So Eight of Swords, this is telling me you've been through cycles. You're still in some sort of cycle that has to do with your mental aptitude. This can be you're overworking or overstudying. And I was almost going to say that about the Sagittarian energy, right? Sagittarius rules academics or, you know, higher learning, you know, going from an academic approach, not necessarily in academics or at a collegiate level, but just studying, learning things. And also rules like religion, spirituality, things like that. And with the moon, I was getting that you're tapping in, like some of you actually may be working with Mother Moon and like getting more deep into, you know, spirituality and things like that, the Piscean spirituality. Whereas Sagittarian spirituality is learning about spirituality and religion for to widen knowledge rather than actual practice, if that makes sense. But it looks like you're learning a lot. You might be doing a lot of research. You might be doing a lot of paperwork. As you can see, she's studying like astrology and witchcraft and things. But whether those are the details of your story or not, I do feel mental exhaustion here. Let's see, what's the shadow? And, you know, eclipse energy and Mercury retrograde, I mean, yes. It is quite an exhausting time. Five of air. Okay, so, you know, fives can indicate some chaotic energy. It also means change is coming. So you are literally changing your destiny. You have this ability to change your destiny and the prosperity lies ahead. The Five of Air, you know, traditionally has to do with people who are arguing or some sort of like, you know, boisterous or self-centered communication or something like that. But in this deck, it has to do with trying to understand concrete things, right? It's like, what would you learn from your palm? You know, how long you live, you know, your marriage line or whatever. I don't know much about palmistry, but those are the kind of things that I like, you know about is like, oh, you'll have this many marriages, this many kids, you know, here's your lifeline sort of thing. And it looks like you may be trying to find that stuff out, and maybe you're trying to research, you know, like through astrology or maybe even palmistry or whatever it may be. You're trying to find those sorts of concrete data. But the thing is that your past self and future self are like, hey, keep going. Prosperity lies ahead. All of this is malleable, right? You can change anything and your body will respond, right? So some of you might be trying to see into the future and, you know, like long-term future, and it might be exhausting you. But the thing is like these things are predestined if you want them to be, right? Because we do have you pushing your current self forward, like, hey, please don't stop. I know you're exhausted. Please keep going. Please keep going. All right, let's see what else is going on for you, Libra. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. Yeah, I really was getting that you are getting deeper into your spiritual faith, and, you know, not all of it is these type of things, right? It's more about communing with spirit, and it looks like you're learning a lot, but it's a bit overwhelming. So you need to balance your spirituality and your practicality, right? Which means, yes, you have, you know, spiritual faith, but you also need to remain anchored in the 3D and, you know, apply spirituality in a practical way, right? So, you know, let's say you have a lifeline that says, you know, you're going to die at 25, but you're 32. You know what I mean? Like, if it doesn't apply, don't apply it, right? You always take what resonates and you leave what doesn't. And even our bodies, you know, epigenetically can change some patterns and things. So, you know, make sure you're being practical with whatever spiritual endeavors that you are embarking on. Let's see. Porygon data check. Yeah, exactly. So once again, we have Porygon coming out. So this is data check. I'm getting that you need to check your data on, you know, some spiritual practices or how you are practicing certain things of spirituality. And maybe if you think certain things are finite, which they are not, right? Especially with Eclipse, they teach us we can time travel, we can time hop, we can reach our highest vibrational timeline, we can end up warped in some weird whatever, right? We have that power. All time is happening at all times, right? We know that through quantum mechanics and relativity. So, yeah, it looks like you're trying to find something about one specific timeline, but the thing is that's only one option, right? So yeah, you need to check your data here about how you are getting into your spirituality and things like that. Again, Porygon has to do with, you know, programmable code and the internet and stuff. So, you know, the Eight of Swords, whatever you are, you know, reading a bunch about, whether it's books or on the internet or something, you need to make sure that you're double checking your data. So, you know, ask someone who's a professional or, you know, who's been in that field for a very long time. Again, it looks like you're approaching this like you're an academic. You're really learning a lot, and I'm very proud of you for that. But make sure you go to someone for like a second opinion. You know what I mean? Because sometimes our mind can get so warped where it's like, you know, getting so stuck in the concreteness of things, okay? So yeah, double check your data. It says, a Pokemon that consists entirely of programming code. It is capable of moving freely in cyberspace. Yeah, so again, we have this emphasis on cyberspace and like the internet and things like that. You know, it talks about programmable code, and for me, that is, you know, astrology, because we're all made of code, right? And it's programmable. If we hack our natal code, then we can pretty much, you know, become whatever we want, especially as we work with our progress chart and things like that. But it looks like you need to do a little bit of a data check on how you're interpreting whatever it is. For some of you, it could be astrology. For some of you, you might be getting into coding and stuff like that, like, you know, computer stuff. I don't really know anything about that, but let's see. What's the light energy? We have the 10 of Wands in reverse. So tell me more about this. And the 2 of Swords. Okay, so there's somebody else in this situation, because the 10 always means that there's a cycle that you haven't completed with somebody else when it's in reverse, right? 9 is when you complete it within yourself. 10 is when you are completing it with someone else. So the 10 of Wands in reverse is telling me that when it comes to your passion or lust or kundalini, you haven't completed this with someone else. And again, I feel like you haven't had anyone else check your data about whatever your spiritual situation is. And so the 10 of Wands can mean, you know, this is, it's funny, I'm getting like completely different energy than I usually do with my cards, Libra. But usually this is when you come home to like a sweetheart, like she has a good job, you know, she has her groceries and she's going to go and cook with her sweetheart. For this, I'm getting like, you know, it's so dark and the only light is on the phone. Okay. So I'm getting that that's what you need to check your data. Don't let the only data that you get come from your phone. You know, read a book, go see, you know, someone who is knowledgeable in this area, but more so 2 of Swords. This is meditating. This is grounding. This is you connecting with nature. And I'm getting to connect with mountain spirit, which are very strong and grounded, and to have a conversation with yourself. Okay. Because the 2 of Swords for me is always when there should be a conversation between 2 people, but you have to do it by yourself and inside of your third eye. Or it can be that you're communicating with someone telepathically. But it does look like there is a cycle that you haven't completed with somebody, and you need to go within and do some meditation. Because again, you know, learning spirituality is not just about learning things like, you know, palmistry or astrology or even tarot, right? A lot of the answers to be applicable and to balance spirituality and practicality is to go and actually connect with nature and to meditate. And just a reminder, meditation is not, you know, a Zen nothingness, you know, all white or all black sort of, you know, nothingness. That's one type of meditation. It's very advanced meditation. You go into your mind and you just observe your thoughts. And anytime it, you know, becomes too chattering or you wander too much, then you center yourself again. But you just observe, your higher self observes the mental chatter of, you know, the mind and the ego. So it looks like you are being asked to do some meditation here. Let's see, what's the shadow here? We have the Four of Air and the Mabon. So what do you know? What's there? It's the eclipse. So I feel like the eclipse is sending you a lot of messages that are not being interpreted correctly, if I may say that, Libra. I hope that doesn't come off as rude, but we have air, 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 okay? A lot of air, a lot of mental energy. Even, you know, Porygon has to do with communication, which is air energy. As you can see, the Four of Air, this is like the foundation of communication, and I feel like, you know, the eclipse here, look how it's, you know, sending the raven and the four-leaf clover and the coin and the cat, right? These are all like different kind of omens sort of thing, different kind of signs. And I feel like whatever you've learned that has sort of exhausted you, you're getting all of these, you know, synchronicities and stuff like that, but you can't really put it together. You know, it's like the practicality and the spirituality part just aren't clicking the right way. I feel like there's some confusion and things like that when, you know, because of this eclipse energy. It's kind of like an overload of information, which is why you're exhausted. You might be getting a lot of downloads right now. Again, that's very important why you need to ground, but you really do need to check the data of whatever these signs and stuff that you are getting. So some of you might be getting, you know, animal spirits visiting you. So definitely, you know, check what they are. If you have a, you know, an animal visiting you, you know, check the spiritual meaning. Same goes for insects. And then we have Mabon in reverse. And this is your card, right? It's all about balancing the light and the shadow. So because it's coming out in reverse, it's telling me that you don't have your light and shadow balanced right now. You don't have your divine feminine and divine masculine balanced completely. Okay, we saw that emotionally, that's what you're doing. You're breaking, right? That was in the cleansing ceremony with the 9 of Water. You're breaking a cycle. You're ending it so that you have emotional symmetry. But it looks like in general, the light and the shadow is not balanced here. Okay, and it's because the interpretation and some of the data just is a bit faulty here with this eclipse. Okay. All right, like I said in the extended, we're going to see, you know, deeper into this, what we can do in order to further your healing regarding this situation, and then some advice on how to manifest your highest vibrational timeline. But let's see what the dragons would like to say. Going right to the Four of Air and Mabon in reverse, we have the Water Dragon in reverse. Helps you flow easily around obstacles. Yeah, I feel like the thing is you've been doing so well, right? And we see that prosperity lies ahead, and your future self and past self are really pushing you forward to get you into a better timeline, you know, so that you can live your destiny, basically. And, you know, but spiritually and practically what is going on, this eclipse energy is bringing obstacles that are confusing, and it's making your balance out of whack. And it looks like, you know, you've been very balanced here, you know, in general. But this is really throwing you just like a ball from left field or whatever. I don't know sports references, but, you know, the water dragons want to come and help you to get around the obstacles that are going to come. So call in the water dragons to work with them. It says, Christ, light, and love are flowing. Develop your psychic abilities. Go with the flow. So Christ light is all about accessing your heart chakra, right? That is a portal to spiritual salvation and unconditional love. It's just a gate where you can give and receive love from. And, you know, when you are using your heart chakra in that way, you have love flowing around you. And it looks like you have that ability, right? You're getting deeper into your spiritual faith, and you're being asked to develop your psychic abilities by grounding and going within your own mind rather than whatever practice you're trying to do, astrology, palmistry, whatever you're learning about. You're being asked to instead develop your psychic abilities and to go with the flow, okay? And that's what Pisces teaches us. Look how there's the two fish, right? And we had the moon come out, which again is Piscean energy. So we have a lot of fishies, a lot of Piscean energy, which again is the deep subconscious, the unseen realms, your psychic abilities, the mystic abilities. And it looks like your third eye is really getting upgraded. And again, this could cause exhaustion, but Spirit is asking you to keep going. Your own self from different timelines is trying to ask you, please keep going, because prosperity does lie ahead. Okay. All right, so Libra, if you would like to follow me into the extended, the link is in the description box below. I also want to let you know that my books are open again for private reading. So if you're interested in that, you can reach out. All that information is in the description box below. If we part ways here, good luck with the situation. I am sending you so much love, a big hug, and a kiss on your third eye. Mwah.